afternoon, welcome to... You ready?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's embarrassing. Welcome to the Sharp, the social hub of positivity. It's a buzzing little place today, let me tell you this. Really, really honoured to have a special guest who we're going to interview in a minute, but Helen is part of this great organisation, two great organisations that we know of. One is the Knatty Knitters, this fantastic, beautiful tree made as you come into the shop in Emery Gate in Chippenham, which is of course in Wiltshire, which is of course in England, which is of course in the world. How you doing, bud? Anyway, so up here is a beautiful all of this is handmade by these fantastic Knatty Knitters. This is a fairy for this beautiful tree, which is made all handmade, which is gorgeous. Lots of beautiful stuff. Essentially, we're going to do a naming sort of, what is it? It's not even a competition, is it? It's basically we want someone to come up with a name, and we'll put up a prize for the person that can name this beautiful all hand knitted fairy. Yeah, it's fantastic. So basically what we're doing is doing this in two parts. First is I wanted to introduce, get closer to this, all these beautiful things. This is a massive thing for people that come in the shop. You can see them just leaning up against it and touching all the different bits. But it is such an absolute work of art, a great example of creative teamwork, and I can't say, hopefully Helen will be able to tell people if they're interested in getting involved in the Knatty Knitters, but also Helen is multi-talented, and people who know her. She's also been part of the Arts Trails in Chippenham previously, but she's also a part of the wonderful Sahara Sisters. You'll often see them connected with stuff that we're very fortunate. We do a lot of gigs together. We go to see their gigs. We had a long relationship with Rachel Terry, the wonderful human being that inspired it and is the sort of main pivot for it all. But so is Helen. The Sahara Sisters are a belly dancing group. Again, we're going to talk about that today, but you'll see previous podcasts with the wonderful Rachel Terry. Those people that have seen our vlog or podcast from Minety will have seen that the Sahara Sisters were doing a great service for us there. They did a beautiful display, etc., etc. Got people to do a workshop. They've done stuff with us with the great Chippenham Folk Festival when we put on the Fringe stuff that we did. They're also going to do on the 21st of December our Christmas Kracker, Kandu Kristmas Kracker, at King Alfred Hall in Chippenham, again, which is in Wiltshire, which of course is in England, which of course is on the planet Earth. So King Alfred Hall, which is near St Andrew's Church in Chippenham, pay what you can, but there will be photography there from the wonderful Anna Green. If you see over there, we've got the thing that's happening in the shop, so you can book in for that. We've also got these great workshops that are happening here, but let me cut off now and then re-emerge when Helen's here. This is the second part of that wonderful bit introduction. This is the wonderful person I've been talking about, Helen. Helen, is your last name Osbourne?
It was Osbourne.
Yeah.
And I recently married a Mr. Swan.
Nice.
So
how lovely.
Just to save any confusion, I've just made it Osbourne Swan.
Osbourne Swan, yes, there you go. So it's both of those beautiful names.
Thank you. Yes, they go well together. Yeah.
They do. Now, tell me that. So I've done a little introduction about the Knatty Knitters.
Yeah.
We
are
get
such
that.
anything.
Yes. And we also, I've known you because of the art trail. I've also known you because of the Sahara Sisters. So there's lots of reasons to have come across you in this town, which is great. How long have you lived in Chippenham?
15 years. I still feel like a newcomer.
15 years,
yes,
you did so
but
much.
Then when I think 15 years, it's really quite a long time. I mean, you're probably not much older than 15, are you?
And I'm not much more than 15
no,
stone, so between us there's a 15 in every one. Where do you originate from?
England.
Yeah.
But I lived for 34 years in South Africa. So that's where the accent comes from.
There is definitely a little bit of a
yeah.
twinge there.
Yes.
Right, how interesting. What were you doing in South Africa?
Well, I followed a boyfriend out there.
Is that Mr. Osbourne?
Stupid thing? No.
No.
That's another one. Sorry, long story.
So, really your name is Blofeld.
Well.
Blofeld Osbourne Swan.
Yes.
Wow, was that good? South Africa?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's a fabulous country. I've still got friends there.
Yeah.
It's just, the crime and everything out there is, everybody lives behind high walls and barbed wire and electric gates.
Yeah.
And when you're there, you sort of get used to it, so it doesn't really faze you.
Yeah.
But visitors come, and they're just like, oh, how can you possibly live like this?
Yeah, my brother went across to set up a magazine there, and the guy from the organisation that was showing him around, my brother was driving, I think, down one of the freeways or whatever it is, and someone cut him up, and my brother, bless him at the time, used to have a bit of road rage, and the South African guy said, "Oh no, Mike, don't do that.
No.
They will shoot you."
Oh, yes.
And he went, and do you know what? It cured him of his road rage.
Yes, that would put you off. Get you
Anyway.
on the straight and narrow.
So, you've been in Chippenham 15 years, you've been a real key part of the community, because you've done stuff around the community that a lot of people don't do, and no disrespect to anyone, but the art trail, which you do, I don't have to worry about talking about, but it was a great initiative, putting art all around the town so that people would come across art, which is fantastic. Promote local artists.
Yes.
I know you're a Knatty Knitter, and what a Knatty Knitter you are. Do you do any other art form?
Yes, I do. I paint.
Right.
Yes,
So how come we haven't got any of yours in our shop?
I don't do it for that.
No,
but
I don't know that everyone does. I
No.
think it's about sharing it then.
It is, I suppose so.
Yeah.
And art is like everything else. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm quite happy with what I do.
Yeah.
If somebody else likes it, nice. Next step, somebody actually wants to buy it, that's brilliant. So, but I don't do it to sell. I do it literally for
it's
for
interesting because you know that when we're working, particularly with our young people on a day-to-day basis, we use the arts to explore all their emotional stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of defines us as an alternative education place, is that we're really concerned about the reasons why someone might not be able to obtain education, or social norms, or life skills and what have you, and we go through all the different art forms. This hub has come about because of a fantastic group of volunteers as much as anything else. I think the majority are artists.
Yes.
They do workshops, so that they do some of their work while they're here, they just use the space to do it, and talk and do workshops for the people that visit the hub. Now the interesting thing about that is that shared experience, because it kind of demystifies it, because normally you're the good person to talk to us because you've actually gone out your way to bring art into people's life by having an art trail. So you might be in a shop that doesn't normally carry any art, and then all of a sudden you're confronted or you're lucky greeted by a beautiful piece of art, right? Yeah. But for me, the reward of doing the art is doing the art. So whether it's music, photography, I don't really care. That you're doing, your mind's in a different place. We know the emotional, psychological benefits of that. But so sharing it, now this is in our society, if it's deemed not, that there's this sort of threshold. Oh no, you can't sing if you can't win the X Factor. You can't paint if you're not going to go international. So no, people, wrong.
No, completely wrong.
So this is why. Do you think I could persuade you to share some of your art in here?
Yes, I could, and I could bring a workshop along if you like. I did one recently for Doorway.
Oh, fantastic!
Because Doorway has the same sort of philosophy of just getting people to think outside of themselves.
Yes.
Because I think when you've got a lot of problems, quite understandably, you kind of focused on those problems.
Yeah.
And I just feel when you're doing something else, whether it's knitting, painting, singing, playing an instrument, or trying to, it takes you out of yourself. And it puts you in a different space, and it's a very peaceful space usually, especially if you're not being judged. And I always say that about any art. I mean, I used to be very involved in creative writing, and the times I had to deal with people who were so down because their books hadn't been published, and I just said, but that's just one area that you haven't got into, or call it success, being successful in. But I don't measure success by somebody having a piece of artwork in the Tate Modern, or winning, like you say, winning the X Factor. It's if you're happy with the work. First of all, you enjoy doing it. Yeah. Then, if you're happy with what you've got, as I say, it goes in all those steps. And if other people like it, woo, bonus.
Yeah. The reward is in the doing.
Yeah, the
isn't
reward
it?
is definitely in the doing.
So fantastic. That's totally my philosophy. Not that you're fantastic because you agree with my philosophy, but it's nice that someone.
Nice.
But you've used it. It's not as if you've been doing it for years and you've been sharing it.
Yes.
This is the interesting thing. Knatty Knitters, tell us a bit more about that, because that is really creative.
Yes.
I mean, I know that you've knitted that, which is beautiful in itself.
Well, not me, on my own.
No, but the tree.
Yeah.
Is a I guess a collaboration between how many?
Well, it's a funny story because we are about 20 odd members. You know how it is. You've got about 25 to 30. They don't all come at the same time.
Yeah.
But we were at the hub.
Yeah.
And we actually were victims of our own success and got too big for the hub.
Yeah.
So we've had to move. We've gone to the cause.
Yeah.
And because some of the ladies didn't find it easy to get to the cause, they've stayed at the hub.
Uh-huh.
So we've split. So ironically, the group is now sort of small enough for the hub.
Yeah.
But we can't go back. They're not if we can amalgamate the two.
Yes.
And the ladies who stayed at the hub have rather misleadingly called themselves the cast-offs. Which is in knitting terms very clever, very clever.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not the cast-offs. We didn't cast them off. They just found that a more convenient.
So if somebody watching this, all two people, and one of them's me, watching this, wanted to get involved, how would they contact you? And could we put their information up on this broadcast?
They can get in touch through Facebook.
Right.
It's the easiest way is Chippenham Knatty Knitters. You'll find us on Facebook,
right.
And you can send a message and Sue will
all levels. Is it more of a social thing as well?
It's very social. We call it knit natter, literally because sometimes there's a lot of nattering going on. There are a lot of knitting and nattering groups around. But yes, we talk a lot. We have coffee and biscuits. We laugh a lot, and nobody's under any pressure. That's another thing. Yeah. When we started doing this tree, which was way back in the year, I think we started knitting like March. I don't know, but there was no pressure on anybody to make squares to contribute towards it. If they wanted to make a square or two, that was fine. Some of our ladies made 40 and 50 squares.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And others didn't, because they were doing other things. Yeah. And that's fine. Nobody counts. Nobody judges. There's no pressure. There's no expectation.
Does it cost anything?
Well, yes, it does. We have to pay for the hire of the hall, the course. So it's £3 when you visit, and you get unlimited coffee and biscuits for that. So it's a bargain.
Yeah, actually, that's not bad at all.
And we get a lot of wool donated. Yeah. A lot of people end up with stuff that they don't need, or they're clearing out a house. If someone's passed away. We sometimes get huge bundles of wool, and they say, can you use it? And of course we can. Yeah. We can always use it for something.
Do you think? I know this is going to sound bizarre, but so we have workshops here every week. Is there any time in your calendars or anyone to do a regular workshop here, so there's a joint project that you could do that people could attend here? Because we have quite a few people that
on a regular basis. I'd have to speak to the ladies. Yeah. At the group and see what they have to say. Sort of like a satellite, not a cast-off. Yeah. A satellite that's connected to you, that people come here, doesn't cost them anything, it enhances what we're doing here. You've already done a beautiful thing for us. And I'm just wondering, some people get attached to a place in a space. Yes. And the kind of context. So the people that come here already who might have certainly, because the amount of people I said it to you on Saturday, and I said, just look at the people going to the tree and touching it and looking at it. Yeah, it's lovely. So, and that's why we need all the information about you guys on it. So that's the sort of the first thing. But I'm just thinking that it's not too far off sitting around having a cup of tea here, and people having a nut and a knit and a knit and a nut. Yes. And then doing another project that's this hub specific. Yes. Whatever that might be. We can give that some thought, because we like to have a project to work on. We do all sorts of different things. We knit for babies, premature babies. We've knitted boobs for ladies who've had mastectomies, because they're soft and you can make them. That is unbelievable. You've blown my mind. No, not about the boobs. That's enough to blow anyone's mind. But the fact that you do
just thought that everyone turned up. You had a knit and a knat, and you were
and we
doing
just
your
knitting our own
project.
thing.
Yeah.
No, well, some people do.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people knit their own things, obviously, because you've got children and grandchildren and neighbours who want hats and scarves and jumpers. But yes, we like a project. We did recently scarves that were for a dementia organisation, Louis Dementia. It's a very different. Don't ask me too much about it. I don't know much. But they had this project where they were going to wrap a scarf around the Royal Albert Hall.
Fantastic.
Which they did, and we contributed towards that. We did about, I don't know, 50 metres of scarves.
Yeah.
And then sent it to them, and they all got joined together and wrapped around the Albert Hall. So we like to have something like that to work towards.
Couldn't we do something like that?
Well, I know blankets are always useful.
Yeah.
And I do remember once seeing in a doctor's surgery like a box of knitting needles and wool, and while ladies, I shouldn't just say ladies, but while people were waiting, they could knit a square or carry on, because if you know if somebody had started one
and they're going for the
left or my turn, put it down, then the next person could pick that.
never-ending thing. We could
and
do
you could
something
just
like
carry
that.
on with something like where you don't take it home.
No, because you leave it.
You leave it
right,
there.
that's what I'm
so you have
saying.
sort of
Is
a
there
box.
something that we could think of that we could do here?
Yes.
My God, this has just opened a whole world. I'd love it.
Yeah, that
Who'd
would
have
be
thunk it?
nice. That'd be nice.
And maybe we could even go deeper. We could find locally accessed wool, if there's such a thing. I don't know that there is, but we could maybe.
You can always put an appeal out. You'll get inundated whenever you ask.
But so I'd be interested. So we could that could be an ongoing
it
thing.
Could be something that stay here.
And
be done.
And then done,
here.
and maybe one of you or someone else comes in just to kickstart it or to get people. To
I mean,
teach.
then if you haven't got much time, or you're not a very good knitter, you think you are, you could just pick up what somebody started, a plain knitted square, and just do a couple of rows.
Such a good idea.
It'd be quite fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Right, okay, so more of that to come in the new year then. Now, the other passion, amongst others that you have, besides your art, and I'm very keen to see your art and have it in here and maybe do a workshop, as you said. So basically, I just don't want you to leave.
Okay.
Okay. So
just
if you
bring
could
the
move in,
back.
bring it. We'll provide the sleeping bag.
Sofa's a bit short. I'm
don't
very
worry.
long.
Yes. We'll have to get an extendable bed setting, but I think we're getting there. Bunk beds. The Sahara Sisters.
Yes.
I love them. I go and see your stuff. The Phantom. What's the thing you do at the once a year? The
Hefla.
Hefla.
It's just Arabic for party. Really.
Party, yes, but it's a great party.
It is a great party.
So off.
Yes.
You were there. What I'm on about? You were there. We went to the one in Swindon. That one. Were you there? That's Swindon.
Yes.
Yeah. That was amazing. That was just like mind blowing.
I know.
Wasn't it?
And people
We bought
always
saris. We bought with the tea, the chai. And we were like, this is the most amazing thing, with all the different dances as well as you could sell.
Yes. No, we love it.
Wow.
We love it.
How long have you been involved in that?
I actually got involved. All right, I contacted Rachel Terry, who runs the group, before I even left South Africa, because I was looking. Literally, I was looking for somewhere to live.
Yeah.
My daughter had moved close to Bath, was working in Bath.
Yeah.
And as usual, when people come over from South Africa, they don't have much money because your money doesn't go so far here. Couldn't afford Bath. Yeah. So I ended up in Chippenham, which sounds like second best, but no, I love it.
Turns out you won.
I know.
Well, we won.
But I was sort of looking at things that were going on in Chippenham, and one of the things was belly dancing, and I thought, right, that's something I'll do as soon as I get to it. So I got hold of Rachel. So even before I left, and when I was packing my bags to come here, I was sort of packing clothes, and I'm thinking, belly dancing, t-shirts out, spit sparkle belly dancing. So I was getting ready for it then. So 15 years, as long as I've been here.
That is fantastic. Now, explain to the good people that are watching this, because it's a spectacle for the audience, and you guys have done workshops for us, so actually people get, and I love that about you guys, that you get, again, like the Knatty Knitters, you involve people and you increase their knowledge and their skill. What do you think you get out of it? What's the benefit of that?
First of all, it keeps you moving. Yeah. So as you know, a lot of us are older ladies that are in the group. I don't like aerobics and treadmills. Yeah. Belly dancing is much freer, but it definitely keeps you moving. You know, your arms are going, your legs are going, your hips are going. Everything keeps moving. Second thing, it might even be the first thing, really, in my mind. You get to wear a lot of sequins. I mean, where else do you get to dress up?
It's true. I mean, I do quite regularly, but they've come to expect it.
Yeah, literally, when I go around the charity shops, my eyes just go round, and if there's anything sparkly, that's the first thing that I take off the rail and think, oh, well, that will do.
Yeah.
Lots of lovely ladies. Again, friendship, comradeship, support. And we get to perform for our friends and family.
You do feel that, don't you? There's a great sense. It's not like everyone's going, oh my God, what we do. Yeah. There's fun. There's whatever. What was the one at the Hefler that then Rachel said? Was it the bump?
Oh, we did that one, yes.
That's what I'm saying. So she said, those of a certain age will know all the words to this. Yes. Well, of course, if you'd have come up to me beforehand and said, do me a favour, can you tell me the words to the bump, I'd have struggled to remember. But she was right. As soon as I heard the music, started watching the dance, all the words. So I think I filmed it. It just hear me go, "There's a new dance." It's like, oh my God, where's that come from?
You run up on me because I had no idea at all.
Right.
Because I was out of the country. I know it's a bad excuse all
no,
the time,
it's
but
not.
when you're in South Africa, there were certain pop tunes and things that came through, but we didn't get it all. Yeah. And when Rachel said, "Well, should we do it to this?" I'm like, I don't know. You find it for me, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we did it to that. So I learned it right from the beginning. I had no idea.
It's such fun because it's not, and not that it would be bad if it was. It's not just music of belly dancing's origin, which I guess is
It's Arabic. It's sort of Eastern European, North African.
You guys
Turkish. We do
hula.
Everything. Yeah, we do hula.
Yeah.
We've done a sort of Spanish fusion, we've done Russian, we do Bollywood.
Beautiful. And you get people to come in, specialists,
yes.
So it's really authentic, isn't it?
Yes.
I really admire that. You get
a
lot of detail.
We have an Indian lady who
at the same
teaches
time.
our Bollywood, and a lady who goes to Hawaii and learns all the proper hula dances.
Yeah.
I choreograph some. Mine are usually just nonsense, but you have to have a bit of fun, don't you?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. This is what I think. Not that people are out there going, "Oh, well, I would have gone to belly dancing if I thought it was anything more than just Arabic music. Arabic music's beautiful." What I'm saying is, your particular group goes to a lot of trouble to fuse lots of different cultural stuff, which celebrates all of them, including the Arabic culture, which is where the origins come from. So you've got the cultural part of it as well. You've got and that thing I saw over in Swindon was mind blowing. What was that called? What was that thing? Because it was just beautiful, but surrounded by beauty. How many?
The puja.
How many people were in that space?
I know, hundreds.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, because they come and go.
They come and go, but they just the dances, all different dances, different dance groups, whatever. You good selves. The food.
The food's brilliant. Yes.
It was just.
I know.
What is this?
It's lovely.
You have to experience it to know, don't you? And it's great that you got me into that. I've got to say that. Now, is the 21st of December the next dance that people can see? Because you're doing something for our Christmas Kracker, the Kandu Kristmas Kracker at the King Alfred. I always want to say Prince Charlie. King Alfred Hall by St Andrew's Church in Chippenham, which is in Wiltshire, which is on England, which is on the earth. You're going to be doing, we can't give anything away, but quite a special thing for that. And you're also hopefully going to be doing the Minety Festival with us next July.
Yes, I missed that when I was away. I might be away again next year, we'll have to see. But yes, I've heard all about that. All the ladies who went there said it was absolutely brilliant.
Well, I just love it. Again, wouldn't it? So it's like, and they said, "Oh, we'll do it outside the marquee." Oh, yeah, do what you want. And of course, it just attracted people. If you see, and we've got to put some footage of the belly dancing at Maya. The bit from Minety, it's just so incongruous. You just at this festival, and then there's this fantastic dancing. Now I was there, and I was like looking around, and people just.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kandu Arts 25th anniversary stage. That's what I'm back again, and with a brand new invention, as they say. So, this is the fantastic Sahara Sisters, a ballet dancing group based in Chippenham, and they get together on Tuesday nights, and there's about 30 of them, I'm told, which is fantastic. If you want to join their ranks, you can do that on Tuesdays. All right. So, for your pleasure, the Sahara Sisters.
Yay! workshop. Right, 21st of December, the next time to see the Sahara Sisters. We're going to put more information up about the Knatty Knitters.
Okay.
when do you meet,
and
by
the
the way?
fairy.
And the fairy, yeah.
The fairy.
It's not a competition, it's
No,
a
what it is
mission, really.
It's almost like, I don't know what you would call it, but if anyone would like the fairy,
Yeah.
we'd like them
It's
to...
brilliant, isn't it?
It's fantastic. It's Janet, one of our... I could just give her a little shout out.
Yes,
Janet,
of
one
course.
of our best
Yeah, of
knitters.
course.
She's made the fairy.
Yeah. Who were the founders of the Knatty Knitters?
Was Janet,
Yeah.
Margaret Goff, Sue Osbourne, Myrtle Harris. I wasn't one of the founders. I joined them after.
No.
So it was those ladies,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. But if they want that fairy to take home.
Yeah.
They've got to give it a name.
Yeah. And you guys
And
can
then
pick it.
we'll choose the name, and whatever name we choose,
Yeah.
that person will get the fairy.
Perfect. That's lovely. Right. That's an ongoing thing. Why don't we make that and the announcement on the 21st, so people have it before Christmas?
Okay.
They can put it on. So we do it up, and from now we advertise the fairy
The
naming
fairy, yes.
right up to the 21st, and then maybe on the 21st you can announce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll
And if
work.
the ladies
then
from
they
the
can
Knatty
take it home
Knitters
before Christmas.
would like to come as our guests,
Yeah.
and because I'm really keen to thank them. I think this sort of thing and all the other stuff you've done, I mean, I was blown away with this. So when you said all the other stuff, it's kind of like, really? Wow, that makes sense. Now, if we could do something, how we can contribute to that and support, because we put on lots of events and stuff, that we have a presence, even if it's just to advertise to other people, because before I think we were the first hub, as it were, in Chippenham. So when people started coming through our doors when we were there, I used to open 7 days a week. So for the first about 5 months, I was the person that ran the hub.
Yeah.
Because what can you say? I don't know what it was. We just sort of like the shop and said, "Can you do us a favour? Can you use one of these spaces?" Well, we work right across the community, so it's like
I know, it's
pretty
wonderful
sure
you being in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure between all the people we know would come and serve, and we had some art exhibitions that we'd done stuff with the Syrian refugee crisis. So we'd had Mel C had done a single with us. We had artwork that was created and then auctioned in London when we did a show with Mel C. So we had still had bits of that, and we had artists, of course we do art all the time. Well, you saw how it's grown. It's now turned into this. Musicians come in,
It's lovely.
people that haven't played before start playing music. Dad came into us, remember the other day, came in and said, since my son's been coming in, just tinkering around, he's now gone on to have lessons. We have a band, a young person's band form because of this. We have the writing group, which I'm interested in you maybe getting involved in. This keeps saying different things about that you can do, but that's your own fault.
I know.
If you just did one thing, that's all I told you about, isn't it?
I wear a lot of hats.
Exactly, but if you just did one thing, that's all I'd be talking.
Yes.
Your life and it.
Yeah.
But funny thing is, you can come across you in a lot of ways in this town. I really commend you for that, because I think it enriches our town. I'm glad. I'm
enjoy
totally
it.
glad that you didn't go, but I'm being serious.
And when you come to a new place, like coming from South Africa to back to England, the only people I knew were my children and my family.
Yeah.
So I had to make an effort to get to know people, and I've always been an organiser. I've always done things. I've done bike rallies and shows.
Wow.
And I've always
Have you
done.
ever got any free time?
Yeah, I have loads. That's why I do stuff.
Right, get that bunk bed sorted.
I'm making a quilt at the moment for Pride next year because they
Brilliant.
want to raise funds
Yeah.
and they're having an auction. Sorry, it's promoting something.
No.
They're
We're
having
supporters. Massive supporters.
a raffle
Yeah.
at the what's it called, the Wine Monkey.
Yeah.
On the 21st, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But so I'm making a quilt, so they're going to raffle.
Yeah,
quilt at
cool.
that, so.
We are dedicating Friday night, because we run a tent at the Minety Festival.
Yeah.
Minety Festival. So next year, on the 2nd of July, we're going to have a cabaret. So we're going to have Sam Compton, who's also the lovely Sheila Takia,
Yes.
is going to be the compere and do her famous fantastic act.
Fabulous.
And so it's going to be Pride night.
Yeah.
So it's going to raise awareness to support Pride in general, but specifically to make people in the locality aware of the wonderful, because it's fantastic, wasn't it, the Chippenham Pride?
Oh, I did the walk with Sheila.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I filmed it.
I'm walking down with her, she's saying, trying to get there. I'm saying, hold on,
Yeah.
you've got to let everybody get a load of this,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Don't be so
Yes.
anxious to get there.
Yes, that's
Actually,
interesting because I filmed it and put it out as a sort of mini specific podcast that day because I just went around and went, everyone, listen, my son who was living in London said, Dad, I'm so proud.
It was fabulous.
And we had a great time, and we were in the Flying Monk watching Sheila and all the other fantastic acts. Had a blast. So without a doubt, it's of course with great supporters. You can say anything you want to support anything that you're doing. Actually, I don't care what you're doing. You're a community organisation. I want to help as many people as possible because even with a dynamo like yourself, people like Rachel Terry and all the people that you mentioned that we've had the Women's Institute, all those fantastic people, even with all of us working together, you know, because we also do stuff with Doorway, the football project we do with them, that there's still gaps, still nets that people fall through and they're in dire need and desperation. And I don't want to be political, but our society isn't set up right.
No.
And
no,
I don't
want to
be political.
No, I don't want to go down that road either. But yeah,
we
I
wouldn't
can make
have
a lot
to.
of suggestions.
Of course, there you go. But what you do, and I really admire you for it.
Okay.
I know that you used to also work at the
RSPCA.
RSPCA, I would get those two wrong, which is why I probably got into trouble with the RSPCA when I brought a child in. No, the fact that you get out there and do stuff, you're there, you're one of the people that's volunteer, and I've seen you in loads of guys' and it's kind of like, wow, is this woman ever, that's why I asked you, do you have any time?
Loads.
Now, you do all these different things. There are some people, and I want to encourage them, who don't know what they think, who are these people that do all this stuff, because we have them here. They're amazing. Our volunteers here are absolutely really talented people, got lots of stuff that they can do, got families, but they still find time, and this is literally, this doesn't make any money, it just loses money if you want in real terms, but what it gains and what the purpose is for our society and our community, like I was saying when we opened it, doing all those days, I suddenly questioned, where do these people go if this isn't here?
I know.
There isn't anywhere.
And there isn't really anywhere.
Right.
We need more than anything a big community centre.
Well, it used to be the Bridge Centre. I don't want to go into that, Pete Hutton.
I know, but
Pete Hutton.
I've been banging on about that for so many years.
Well, listen,
there's
we used to work in there. We used to use it more than the youth service.
Why did they knock it down?
Right, here's an interesting thing. That you say that, we said to Pete Hutton and Bill Douglas, who was another councillor, we had a meeting with them because we used it more than the youth service. We want to take over the Bridge Centre because we use it through the summer holidays, the winter holidays, whatever. We work with different diverse groups. We'll pay for it. Before you find a better use for this place, we'll have it. Never heard from them again. Right, so come to us having that hub. Pete Hutton, he's a councillor, came in and I said to him, Pete, why was it that you and I think Bill Douglas didn't come back to us? And instead of coming with any logical idea, he said, because when I was 15, I went there and I didn't get it. He's a grown man with no kids, interestingly. He's a grown man. The reason I'm saying no kids thing is he's in charge of youth, he's got connection with youth activities. How someone with kids is connected to providing for kids, I don't know. I just question that sort of mentality or methodology from the council. But that his answer to an organisation that has now worked 25 years, that because when he was 15 he didn't get the Bridge Centre.
Weird.
Beyond weird. It's massive incompetence. And we then needed that place more than ever because we're key workers during the pandemic.
Yes.
We had nowhere to socially isolate the different families and people. It was a nightmare brought about by and this is the problem sometimes with councillors. It's great that people volunteer or whatever they do. Some of them definitely got political ambitions, but some of them say, I'll do that because we need representation. I'd say citizens' assemblies are better, but the political ideology that comes with it that says, we've got to get rid of the youth service, which is from higher government, then seeps down to localised, which doesn't really apply. That building we could have been paying for, so it wouldn't have cost the taxpayer anything, and we'd have had a facility, and no doubt, having met you, it would have been filled night and day.
Well, yes.
Do you know what I mean? With a multi-purpose, multifaceted, intergenerational community space.
You've only got to sort of do it. You know, people often say to me, "Oh, well, how do you organise this?" Or
Yeah,
how do you
yeah,
do
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
You've just got to decide what you want to do and go for it. And most of it's not that hard.
But a chance that
It's
you
not
could
hard.
you could run for local government, national government, and international
An
government.
international government. Oh, that would be nice.
That's what
Yes.
we need. We need
Yes.
cooperation right
Yes.
through all
I'm
human
one of
beings
those
on
who
this
shouts
planet.
at the TV all the time, and I think they should give me that job.
Well, now that's interesting. That's why when people are watching this, they got you on their TVs, on their screens to go, this is a real person in our society. You've got a broad, interesting life background. Not everyone's had the sort of, a degree of living in other places. You've got a good way to compare and contrast societies, which is important. But then turns that, you've had your own children, that you've turned your life into a kind of a service for other people.
Yeah,
Your experiences.
I don't think of it like that,
No,
really.
I know,
I
I
just think of it as liking to be involved.
Right.
I mean, I'm also quite bossy, so I like to be in charge of things. So
Yeah.
that's why I organise stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. It does help people, I know that. But I just more than anything, just think it's fun to do.
You are brilliant. On that beautiful note, the do note, the can do note, Helen Osbourne Swan, everybody, Knatty Knitters, Sahara Sisters, person extraordinary. Thank you so much. You wonderful thing. Really appreciate it.
Good.
That's a wrap.
Spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, just another spec.